القرآن حل ليالنا بالقيام أهلا أهلا بالصيام يا رمضان يا رمضان شهر الرحمة والغفران مرحب مرحب يا رمضان أهلا أهلا بالصيام. You told me you were here for 30 days to shower us with mercy just like rain.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well, inshallah. My name is Aisha and I am one of your coaches here at Your Parenting Tribe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you that have not been to anything or any events that we have done here at Your Parenting Tribe, allow me to introduce you to our tribe. So we have a panel of different coaches who come with different expertise, giving you our best advice in that particular situation. So, my name is Aisha, and I am an Islamic divorce coach. I am the owner of Clear Sky Healing, but I am also one of your coaches here at Your Parenting Tribe. Our aim here is to give you the best that we have so that you can build better relationships within your families, build better relationships with your spouses, your parents, and most importantly, your children. Our aim is to keep the connection between you all going and remembering that Allah is with you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with you. And the more we keep Allah in our hearts, the better our relationships will be. So this Ramadan, I am bringing a topic which I know so many of you will relate to. Now, although I will be touching on divorce, this advice goes to everyone. Now, when I went through my own divorce, one of the things I found incredibly hard was the month of Ramadan. I find that so many families come together and enjoy this wonderful meal at the end of the day, iftar. And I didn't have that. I didn't have that on a daily basis. It wasn't easily accessible, especially when my child was younger. You have to stay at home, you have to be at home in time, you've got school the next day, all of these things. And so I found Ramadan one of the most difficult months because you have to do a lot on your own. And I know that even if some of you are not divorced, you still feel this way, right? So many of us are we dread Ramadan sometimes because we know we have to be in the kitchen or we are going to be in the kitchen. We're prepping this for our children, we're prepping this for our husbands, we're prepping this for our family. And that guilt of not having that time for ibadah that we want creeps upon us. And I want to touch on that as well first and tell you more about serving your families. I want us all to remember this, me included. Serving your families in whatever capacity, even if it's a smile, is an ibadah. Let's not forget this. It's the intention in your heart that matters. When you serve your families with the intention of seeking rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are rewarded for that. That is an ibadah. I know that some of us get caught up in thinking, I can't sit down and pray more Quran, and recite more Quran, or memorize more Quran. And I know you want to do that. And you still can. But we can still recite whilst we are cooking. Right? Everything that you have memorized. You can still explore your dhikr whilst you are cooking. You can still increase your durood or salawat whilst you are cooking. All these things you can do. Let's not forget, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this deen very easy. Should you make it? And it's up to us to make it easy. I know that so many of us get caught up and think, I don't have enough time to do this and I don't have enough time to do this. But there are also sacrifices we must take, and there are conversations within our families that we must have. The month of Ramadan is the month of the Quran, it's the month of Allah, it's the month of us remembering that we are the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we serve Him alone. And so sometimes before Ramadan, it is good to have that conversation with your families and create meal plans. And the reason I say this is when you have created a meal plan, you know exactly what's cooking, you know exactly what's going on, and you can have that conversation with your families and say, hey, the month of Ramadan is a busy month, and we all have to chime in together to make this the blessed month that it is. Meaning, everybody has a job to do at home. And that gives you more time and more wriggle room to engage in the acts that you would like, i.e., the Quran, i.e., salawat, i.e., salat. I want us all to remember this. It's a team. It's definitely a team effort. Get your young children involved in things like this, in chores, in things like this. So it could be something as simple as bringing dishes to the dining table, picking them up to take them back to the kitchen. These things are going to help you as a mom, but also teach them genuine life skills. This is something that comes up in our group a lot. When do we teach our children chores? Teach them as young as possible. However, you don't need to name it a chore. These are just basic life skills that we are teaching our kids. So I know when my girl was young, one of the things that we did was very young actually. Um, Maybe a toddler is when she would take her socks off, just put them together or put them in her shoes. That's a chore, so to speak. And get them into small little jobs like that, and it helps their lives. Going back to the point that I was making earlier about loneliness, sometimes it can feel like we're doing everything ourselves and there's no one there to help. What I have just mentioned should, inshallah, help, but it takes a lot of conversations and it takes a lot of doing consistency, doing it again and again and again. For those of you that are maybe reverts to Islam, maybe this is your first Ramadan, maybe you're a divorcee or a separated individual who is going through her first or second or third or first Ramadan on her own. My message now is for you. Habibti, I know how difficult that may be. I know that you might not have people around you that support your vision in life, that support your Islam, that support the decision that you have made. And that is okay. And the reason I say that is because in your hearts, we have to keep going back to knowing that whatever we do is for the sake of Allah and Allah alone. And Ramadan is about the worship of Allah. And worshiping Allah comes in different forms. Worshipping Allah is showing people your sincerity. Worshipping Allah is even having the consciousness that He is there. Worshipping Allah is saying no to a person who is telling you to do something against what Allah has told us. Worshipping Allah is freeing yourself from an oppressive situation if that is something that you can do. Go back to why you are in this position, what your decision was. And I want you to start looking for places that will accept. I know where I am in the UK, there are many, many different iftars that invite different types of women, right? Whether you're reverted, whether you're divorcee, whether you're single, doesn't matter. There are many different iftars open. Invite your friends over as well, Muslim or not Muslim. Take the action and make your own community yourself, because you wouldn't believe how many people out there are in very similar situations or are willing to support your situation for you. You can find your own community. Just like we have our community here, that is something that you can also find for yourself or create yourself as well, inshallah. There are always events going all over the world, different cities, especially here in the UK. We have so many different opportunities as well. Seek them and remember to ask Allah for His help. Let's not forget that Allah is the one that will guide you to those opportunities. One of the things I wanted to touch upon today is healing your hearts. And healing your heart doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be heartbroken, but it's knowing that me and you, we have a heart, and it's our duty to make sure that this heart of ours is in tip-top condition. The heart is the first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will look at and judge us upon this heart that we have in our bodies. It is not the mind that He will look at straight away. It's the heart that me and you carry. And so I am imploring you, and this is a lesson to me as well, to have a look at what tazkiyah is, the purification of our hearts. What is it that me and you need to do to start purifying our hearts? And when I teach this, the first thing we look at is where is Allah in our lives? And Ramadan seems to be the best time to reset that heart and ask ourselves, where is Allah in my life? Has there been something else, or is there something else that's taking over my heart? Is it my children? Is it my marriage? Is it my job? Is it my car? Is it me trying to run and find a career? I am not saying that all these things are not important, they are, but what I want us to really think about is where is the sole worship of Allah, i.e., our salat and Quran, and just knowing who Allah is before all of these things. Because when we have looked at the relationship that we have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of these other things fall in place because we already have built upon the one that will give us all these things. And so this Ramadan in general is a time where I think so many of us slow down. And last year when we did our course at Clear Sky, King of Kings course, I realized how many people are forced to slow down in the month of Ramadan. It's amazing how we take away something that is completely halal to us, i.e., food, and by taking that thing away, it implodes, it creates a sense of stillness within us. And so many people are forced to slow down and actually face the thoughts that they've been running from in the month of Ramadan. And I welcome that. And I ask you to welcome that. It's hard. It is. But I want to say to you, this year, create the time for just you and take it slow. Some days are going to be more difficult than others, but embrace that. When it comes to your young, tiny beings, i.e., our children, whether you are the carer or not, the one thing that this month allows us to do is to create the conversation of Islam, or most importantly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I think the way some people approach that conversation is reminding our kids what Allah has prohibited first. And I want us to start switching that conversation to what Allah has made beautiful for us first. Speaking about being a good human being, first. And these are things that will already be taught to your individuals, whether that's through school, home, etc. So it's not going to feel alien to them. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts off by one of his names. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil. Rabb is the first thing that Allah refers to him as. Rabbil Alameen. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on to remind us and to show us his two wonderful names, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. And these are the two names that I want to speak about now because I think sometimes we do forget that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses these names within the first few ayat of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Rahman. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim both have very similar meanings, but they are not the same. Both have the same root names, root letters, Ra, Ha, and Mim. My sisters, another word that is named after an organ also has the root letters Ra, Ha, and Mim. Rahim, which is Rahim, which is the womb that you have within your bodies. Most of you do have a womb. And I want us to really have a deeper look at what that means to us. Now, I'm not going to explain everything because this year I am offering a course called King of Kings. Now, although this course is for divorcee ladies, it doesn't mean that any of you can join. It means it will be a conversation mostly to combat loneliness and to give them that community. But you are all welcome to join, inshallah. Um, a course that I teach annually on the 99 names of Allah and how we can heal our hearts through them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses his name Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim to show us his mercy, his rahmah, his mercy. Allah is merciful. This is the month of the Quran. This is the month to get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And my personal suggestion is to look into the 99 names, one word, one name per day, inshallah, or two names per day. We carry it on after Ramadan, but one or two names per day with your children to know who Allah is. The more you get to know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is and his attributes, the more you will understand yourselves. And that is my firm belief. The more I am understanding what Allah has done for me, the more I am appreciating what Allah has given me. So for those sisters whose hearts need healing, which is all of us in some capacity, my sincere advice is to go about looking at the names of Allah and how Allah contributes to our daily life. How Allah has given us this wonderful life and how Allah has given us even the difficult times so that we can appreciate Him more or what He has given us more. You may be going through one of the most difficult times of your life right now. And sometimes people understand and sometimes people will not understand. But Allah knows. And this is the month, Habibti, for you to cry your guts out. My apologies, I have a cold. This is the month to slow down and give your heart to Allah. But you can start now. Don't delay it to the month of Ramadan. Because me and you may not even see Ramadan. We may not see the entire month. May Allah grant that to us. Ameen Ya Rab. Allahumma balighna Ramadan. May Allah grant us the ability to see this Ramadan or Ramadan. Ameen Ya Rab. This month is a difficult month for some people because of the lack of support from friends and from families. What I want you to do, Habibti, is to create a celebration for yourself within your own homes. So I know that some families have already discussed with us their traditions that they have on a yearly basis during the month of Ramadan. Keep them up. In a space where so many of us live in non-Muslim communities and countries, these not rituals per se, but these traditions that we have help us to stay within the deen of Allah and help our children to stay on track as well, so long as it doesn't go against Allah's uh, Islam. I want us to understand that it's a month to really reflect on where we want to be as individuals as well in our deen. And during this month of Ramadan, I like to make a checklist and kind of create a little competition for myself, really. Like this year, Asha, where do I wanna go? Right? Where do I want to go? Like, what do I want to memorize? And sometimes I know that there are people who create competitions with one another who can finish the Quran first. If that helps you get to these goals, do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And when I was a little bit younger, I used to create competitions with some of my friends of who is going to memorize this surah first, etc., etc. And these types of things do help you. It may be amongst your siblings you do this. It may be even with your spouse you might do this and say, hey, who's going to finish the Quran first? Or who's going to memorize this surah first? When you used to, sometimes I used to do the same thing. Who's going to memorize this surah first? And these things are such healthy ways of doing these things. You want to race, be in competition with one another with the rewards, with the deen. Who can do more? Who can do more? You don't need to boast about it, but who can do more? Do let me know if you have any questions. Put them into the chat. I should be here. I will be here, inshallah, to answer anything. The other thing I would like just to remind you before we finish off soon is if you are new here, hello, welcome. Please do subscribe to our channel. If you know anyone that would benefit from this, please share it. I ask you all to share this with at least 5 people in your contact list today, inshallah. And remember that when someone takes from a gathering like this or does something in good because of what someone has been advised um, through these videos, you too will get the reward. So this is a sadaqah jariyah for you. So share it and share it and share it. Share it on your Facebook. Share it on your WhatsApps. You know, those WhatsApp groups that you are in, share it in them. Share it, share it, share it, share it. If you know anyone that would really, really love to be part of our groups as well, the link to our WhatsApp group will be here somewhere, inshallah, maybe in the comments, etc. Or on our channel, please do share it with them. Okay, this is the WhatsApp group is just for women only, inshallah. It is for women only, and in our WhatsApp group, we get to ask questions, ask your experts on, hey, this is the situation I'm in right now. Can you help me? The one thing I wanted to just finish up on is remembering that building the connection between our children requires us to consciously be working on ourselves first. Your children are a mirror of you. Do not forget that. There's a reason why there's things that you are doing that's exactly like your mom or exactly like your father. It's because we are a mirror of our parents. The more you heal your hearts, the better relationships you're going to have with your children because their hearts are also being healed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the ability to be connected through generations, through multiple generations. The more you work on yourself, the more not only are you increasing your rank with Allah, but you're also helping your children. And yes, your children very, very much do know the conscious work that you are doing. And when you're getting triggered by your children, we have to ask ourselves, why? Why am I being triggered by this? And delve deeper. The issue that I find is that so many people want quick answers, but the self-reflection isn't a quick answer. You will never find a quick answer. It's always much deeper. And that teaches you patience. So if you would like to join me this Ramadan in our course, King of Kings with Clear Sky Healing, the link will be here, or you'll get it in your emails. Join us, because I am so looking forward to seeing each and every single one of you there, inshallah. We will be going over some of the 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how you can use those names in your du'as. So you will receive sheets on where this reference is, whether that's a hadith, whether that's a Quran, where the name is, what is paired with. We will also go into the root letters, what the letters mean. Just like I mentioned, the root letters of Ra, Ha, and Meen for Rahmah or Rahim and Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. And I'm so excited. If you are not new here, I also have a message for you. I would like to say thank you so much for being here. Please do not forget to also share this. Make sure you are subscribing to our channel and our email list as well, inshallah, so that you can keep up to date with all the classes that we do. We want to keep doing these classes for you. We want to keep doing these classes for you, the courses that we do, and giving you more and more resources. But in order for us to do that, we need your help. And your help is subscribing to us and sharing amongst your families, your WhatsApp groups, your Facebook statuses. Please share. Now, thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you all again soon, inshallah. And goodbye for now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
مرحب مرحب يا رمضان أحيي قلوب